Good morning, everybody. Welcome to yet another edition of 5 Minutes with Phil. I'm glad that you've joined me here today. It is Monday, the 2nd of November. Here we are, November. Oh, this year is just flying by. Or is it dragging by? I don't know. But anyway, here we are. And I got some good stuff to share with you here today. I'm actually going to kind of camp out on this story for most of this week. And it's in the book of Matthew, chapter 12, starting in verse 1, and the whole story goes to verse 8. But I'm going to start out in verse 1 and 2, and actually I'm going to camp out there just a little bit. So check this out. Follow me on the screen. I want to encourage you today. I want to challenge you today. Check this out. Here's what it says. At that time, Jesus went through the grain fields on the Sabbath. His disciples were hungry and began to pick some heads of grain and eat them. When the Pharisees saw this, they said to him, "Look, your disciples are doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath." All right, let's pause here. This is an interesting story because Jesus is actually traveling with his disciples, and he takes a little bit of a shortcut, and it's on the Sabbath day. And there were these religious leaders by the name of the Pharisees. They were basically enemies of Jesus. They didn't like Jesus. They wanted to kill Jesus. Jesus had a lot of harsh things to say to them and about them, so they did not get along. And out of nowhere, these Pharisees pop up. And as the disciples are simply picking grains of wheat to put in their mouths to eat, the Pharisees come up with this crazy idea that that's a violation of the commandment to honor the Sabbath day. All right, that's crazy. All right, but that's what it was. And I want to just pause here today and challenge you with this, okay? No victory in heaven will go unchallenged in hell. Let me say that again. No victory in heaven will go unchallenged in hell. You know, this was a time where the disciples probably would have least expected getting any kind of confrontation from Jesus' enemies, their enemies, any opposition whatsoever, and yet here it was. And how many times do we see this in our spiritual lives? That at the moment that we least expect it, oftentimes the devil, the enemy of our souls, will try to direct opposition, difficulty, trials, all kinds of crisis. He'll try to direct that our way when we least expect it. Now, I don't like to give too much credit to the enemy, but he is very, very sly in what he does, and he knows how to attack us, and he knows when to do so. And oftentimes, it will be right after a spiritual victory. Think about that. You realize that the time that you really, really need to pray and get close to God is right after you get an answer to prayer. It's right after you get a spiritual victory. It's right after you get a breakthrough or a miracle, or you see God come through for you. Because the temptation for us is to kind of let up and say, okay, I can kind of spiritually coast now because things are good, I got my answer, and everything's fine. But I will tell you that it's those moments that we have to really work hard at trying to stay focused in our relationship with God. So today, if you find yourself at a point where you've experienced an answer lately, or God's come through for you, I want to challenge you to stay spiritually alert. You don't have to be afraid of the enemy, but stay spiritually alert, because he will try to distract you or get you to lessen your commitment to him. And if you think that you're just fine and nothing bad could ever happen to you, just be aware that the enemy may try to take advantage of that moment that you feel secure and try to bring all kinds of insecurity. But remember this, 1 John 4:4 says this, greater is he, Jesus, who is in us than he who is in the world. And so we don't have to fear what the enemy does. All right? My time is way over, so I'm going to let you go. Join me tomorrow. We're going to continue the story. Until then, God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.